What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about this couple that is being accused of money laundering. You know, this is all still alleged, but apparently they have a little over $3.6 billion in crypto assets that they're not supposed to have. Just a quick little $4 billion fraud to start the morning. You know how it is when you got to do your morning run. Like I said, all this is still alleged, but I figured we should talk about it, so let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, obviously every now and then on this channel we've got to go ahead and cover the crypto scheme of the week, whether it's NFTs, there's always something to be talking about, and honestly, I was kind of flabbergasted by just the sheer scale of this when I read the headline. New York couple charged with conspiring to launder crypto billions. You know, usually when somebody steals $2 million, it's national news. If somebody were to rob an armored truck, you would probably hear about it. That being said, these people hacked a crypto exchange and ended up with $3.6 billion. They didn't hack the crypto exchange recently. They had taken millions of dollars in crypto a while ago, allegedly. You know, they haven't proved it yet. They haven't been confirmed to be guilty. But allegedly, they're involved with hacking an exchange in 2016, and just the value of the crypto since then has gone bonkers, leading to this $3.6 billion amount. I don't think they were really out there intending to ever yeet $3.6 billion if they did do it. A New York couple were arrested Tuesday on charges of conspiring to launder billions of dollars in cryptocurrency that was stolen in a 2016 hack of a virtual currency exchange, the Justice Department said. Besides the arrest, federal law enforcement officials also revealed it had seized $3.6 billion in cryptocurrency linked to the hack of Bitfinex, a virtual exchange whose system were breached nearly 6 years ago. Dang, dude, it looks like the government just got quite a bit richer in the crypto department. I know billions really is nothing to the federal government, you know, they think in trillions and all that. That being said, I don't know how much validity is to this. I was reading somewhere that the United States government actually is one of the biggest holders of cryptocurrency when you include everything they've seized from all the crimes involved. I mean, this is obviously a huge score. $3.6 billion from one seizure is absolutely insane, but the US government even before this was stacking it up. I think the US Marshals Service was the main people in charge of Bitcoin. Once a case is closed, the U.S. Marshal Service is the main agency responsible for auctioning off the government's crypto holdings. To date, it has seized and auctioned more than 185,000 bitcoins, and the cache of coins is worth $8.6 billion, though many were sold in batches well below today's price. I mean, obviously, like it said, they've sold some of it, but as of now, they've got another $3.6 billion in crypto, unless this case ends up going against them. Could you imagine if this was a case of the wrong people, the hackers just sent $3.6 billion to some random couple in New York? Honestly, though, I feel like they probably, whoever did this, had thought they'd gotten away with it. If you had hacked something back in 2016 and 6 years later, you still were just vibing laundering the money, you probably think you've gotten away with it, you know? Stealing millions of dollars is already insane enough. Once crypto appreciation comes in, you're sitting on $4 billion. At that point, you gotta know someone's gonna notice, right? There's really no way that you can get $4 billion cleanly into anything. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know anything about money laundering. I'm a YouTuber. It's not like I'm an expert out here. But I just feel like $4 billion is a very daunting task to take on, and chances are someone's gonna notice something's fishy about it. Obviously, this is all still alleged, but my goodness, $3.6 billion. The stolen cryptocurrency, valued at $71 million at the time of the theft, is now valued at $4.5 billion. This man and his wife were arrested in Manhattan on Tuesday morning and face federal charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to defraud the United States. It was unclear if they had lawyers or people who could speak on their behalf. Imagine, dude, you steal $71 million. Obviously, this is alleged. We don't know if it's them, but imagine you did steal $71 million. You're like, oh my God, this is so nuts. How am I ever gonna launder all of this? This is insane. This is so much money. And then over the next few years, you just watch it get bigger and bigger until you're like, oh my God, dude, I'm basically, you know, the equivalent of a founder of a Fortune 500 company now. Oops, I don't really know how smooth this one's gonna go. Obviously, you know, as I said, all alleged, but you are gonna hope that they're gonna use some of this crypto money to lawyer up if it is what they've been taken. I'm just saying, bro, this is not the situation where you probably want to get up and calmly explain you had nothing to do with it. If they kicked down the door and you've got 4.6 billion in a crypto account, I don't know what excuses they're gonna listen to. I don't know all the details, obviously innocent until proven guilty. I'm not an expert. But overall, this situation is just wild. It sounds like something more of what you would expect to see in a movie rather than reality. A few years ago, I got away with stealing 71 million. Not bad, right? The reason I'm in this helicopter over the jungle right now, about to jump out with a briefcase attached to my wrist, is because it's worth 4.5 billion. Hi, this is my story. Roll credits, bro. MGM Studios, the whole Hollywood thing. It's gonna be a movie one day, I'm telling you. It's gonna be like a digital Wolf of Wall Street. Prosecutors say they relied on a series of sophisticated techniques to receive the stolen Bitcoin into a digital wallet they controlled and to conceal the transaction and hide the movement of the money. Millions of dollars in transactions were cashed out through Bitcoin ATMs and used to purchase gold and non-fungible tokens, as well as more mundane items like Walmart gift cards used for personal expenses, prosecutors said. I mean, I'm gonna hope that they were using sophisticated ways to stay off the radar if it took you 6 years to find them. Could you imagine? They're like, actually, we don't know how they managed to hide in plain sight as long as they did, dude. They rolled around in an orange Lamborghini with Bitcoin thief on the back license plate. Like, I'm going to assume that anybody that's got the know-how to be involved in laundering $4.5 million is probably also smart enough to, like, figure out a way to do it that's not insanely unsophisticated. You know, I'm not saying you should ever do this. I don't think you should be money laundering or stealing money. That being said, if somebody's ballsy enough to go in and launder 71 million, chances are they're going to have at least a plan in their head about how they're going to do it. They're not just going to start willy-nilly pulling it out of the ATM at the bank. I mean, maybe if they're an idiot. And maybe these people aren't guilty, innocent till proven guilty. But that being said, I love how, like, the government's acting all surprised that these people were a little bit smart. I mean, they got their hands on a stolen 71 million. We probably could have assumed that whoever did this is a criminal mastermind. The couple were not charged in the Bitfinex hack, which resulted in more than 2,000 unauthorized transactions. Justice Department officials say that though the proliferation of cryptocurrency and virtual currency exchanges represents innovation, the trend has also been accompanied by money laundering, ransomware, and other crimes. Today's arrest and the department's largest financial seizure ever show that cryptocurrency is not a safe haven for criminals, Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said in a statement. In a futile effort to maintain digital anonymity, the defendants laundered stolen funds through a labyrinth of cryptocurrency transactions, and thanks to the meticulous work of law enforcement, the department once again showed how it can and will follow the money no matter the form it takes. Alright, so I'm not a crypto expert by any means, but this was always something I kind of had in the back of my head as a question. Like, okay, if the entire point of the blockchain is that every transaction is permanently recorded, then, like, why would you also assume that transactions are private? Because if somebody really wanted to, couldn't they go through and track every transaction? And sure, the average Joe isn't gonna go through and, like, track every transaction. But if the federal government is in an investigation, they're probably the people that are gonna go out of their way to track it down. One more time, the people that we're talking about here allegedly did it. I don't know. They weren't charged with the hack. I'm not sure. I don't know the details. That being said, blockchain as a technology is kind of like the opposite of super private. Obviously, there's certain cryptocurrencies that prioritize privacy. But I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised that the federal government is starting to, like, go through the super meticulous effort of tracking down these transactions. Even if you were to put it in something like a Tumblr, which is where, like, you send it to a wallet, to 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 send it back to you, the trail is still there on some level. Like, yeah, the average person definitely not gonna go looking through that. The federal government, they probably got some time on their hands, dude. They can probably look through that pretty easily. I'm no criminal mastermind, but it always has been confusing why everybody's like, no, blockchain's super great for doing shady stuff. It's like, it's literally an irreversible ledger, bro. Regardless, no matter what happens in this, whether or not they got the right people here, the amount is what's really nuts to me. The fact that like $3.6 to $4.5 billion just kind of went missing is nuts, especially when you're considering the fact that it was 75 million when it was initially taken back in 2016. So what, 6 years later-ish, somewhere around there? I can't math very well. That being said, dude, that amount of price appreciation is nuts. 75 million's already a massive amount of money, but 3.6 billion makes that look like a tiny little sum. Regardless, I just thought this was insane. I've never really seen amounts this big in an article like this, so I figured I would share it with you guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. I'd really appreciate it. Along with that, you should subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. I make videos kind of like this every single day, so subscribe if you're new, turn on noties. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the intro song down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or, of course, you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. Great way to get a discount on G Fuel. Help me out at the same time. And the last link in the description is a link to the merch store, so feel free to go get yourself a t-shirt. On that note, though, guys, that's gonna do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.